Steven. It's Andre Terone from New Jersey. I'm wondering, what do you think about dating taller women? I'm about 5'4", and I've been dating girls about 5'8", 5'9". Wondering what's your advice on this?
Well, first of all, I mean, if you don't mind the woman literally looking down on you physically because you're shorter than her, ain't no problem with it. I mean, even though I'm a booty leg and hip man to the core, you know, some men like taller women that, you know, beautiful legs and they looking up to her. Me personally, I don't want to be looking up to my woman. I want to be looking up at her in terms of stature. I want to be looking up at her in terms of respect. I want to be looking up at her in terms of admiration, subliminally, figuratively speaking. But physically, I don't want to be walking down the street holding the hands with my woman and looking up at her. That's me. But hey, you can't help the fact that you're only 5'4". And if they taller than you, especially if they fine to you, because beauty's in the eye of the beholder, more power to you. It's women that don't mind walking around down the street holding the hands of a shorter man that may, I'm looking at her. I'm admiring you. Go for it, bro. Go for it. Look, hey. Height don't matter in the dark. Height don't matter in the dark. It don't matter in the light when you're laying down either. That's how I look at it. Go for it, bro. Go for it. Next call. What's up?
What's up, Stephen A? This is Bonnie from Chicago. My question for you is, what are you looking forward to the most for this upcoming NBA season per free agency so far? Should Damian Lillard sign with Miami?
I'm looking forward to seeing where Damian Lillard goes. But what I'm looking forward to most for this upcoming season, I just think that when Boston, L.A., and New York are relevant in the basketball universe, basketball is just better. I truly believe that. I like the smaller market teams, don't get me wrong. I want to see Memphis and Ja Morant. I want Ja Morant to come back with a vengeance and remind the world of his greatness. I want Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. That ain't that small of a market. I want to see them doing their thing. I want a lot of this action going on, but I want to see LeBron and the Lakers as relevant as they were the second half of this season and deep into the playoffs. I want to see the New York Knicks advance to a conference finals, if not an NBA finals. I would love that. I would love to see Damian Lillard come to the New York Knicks. I made that case on First Take yesterday, although I wouldn't mind having Donovan Mitchell instead of him in a year or so, because I think that's possible. Boston being a championship contender, and there's no team that I love watching more than the Golden State Warriors. I think that Steve Kerr is one of the top 5 coaches in the history of basketball, and I think that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter God has ever created. And watching him and a Klay Thompson who owes us a better performance than what the hell he departed these playoffs giving us. I just would love to see that personally. That's just me. And I love Sacramento and what I'm seeing from them, but the L.A. market, the New York market, the Boston market. Yeah, because I've given up on Chicago. They're just middle of the road. I don't see them going anywhere for the foreseeable future. That's a market, obviously. That's a formidable market as well. Philadelphia, obviously, top 5, top 6 market. We'd like to see them do better. But New York, L.A., and Boston, those markets need to give us great basketball, and I think they got a potential to do so. Next caller. What's going on?
What's up, Stephen A? This is Bryce. I'm from Los Angeles. If Carmelo Anthony had been traded to the Lakers instead of the Knicks, how many championships would he and Kobe have won?
That's an interesting question, because I think that if Carmelo Anthony had been traded to the Lakers, I think he would have gotten one title. But let me say this, because I love Carmelo Anthony. That's my brother. I know him well. I got a lot of love and respect for him. I love, his wife, Lala, as well. Beautiful woman, beautiful person. and his brother Justice. My brother. It's been a long time, my man. Got love for you. Can't wait to see you soon. Let me tell you something about Carmelo Anthony. He truly is mellow. He's a laid-back kind of brother, whatever. Offensively, he was a juggernaut. I still think Carmelo Anthony could play in the NBA right now. Defense has never been his forte. Offensively, he was prolific. Here's what I hold him accountable for. Before you ask that question, understand that Carmelo Anthony should have already had a championship. Carmelo Anthony blew it. In 2007, Dwayne Wade signed a contract extension with an opt-out after 3 years. So did LeBron James. Carmelo Anthony was supposed to do so as well. Instead, Carmelo Anthony signed a 5-year deal because the Denver Nuggets put 5 years and $80 million in front of his face. And Carmelo Anthony was like, yo, man, I'm from the streets. I ain't turning down that kind of guaranteed money. He didn't want to bet on himself to get the money that he could get for the 3 years, opt out, and then get a new contract. It was never supposed to be Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James in Miami. It was supposed to be LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony. I'm telling you what I know. I don't give a damn what they say. I'm the one who broke the story that LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade would end up joining forces in South Beach. I broke that story. Nobody else. And I'm telling you what I know. It was supposed to be Carmelo Anthony, but he signed a contract that didn't give him an opt-out in the year 2010. And so they settled on Chris Bosh, and that is how that happened. If Carmelo Anthony had been in Miami with LeBron and with D. Wade, they would not have lost to Dallas. And I believe they would have won 3 titles at least in the 4 years that they were there together. So to go to him and Kobe, yeah, maybe they would have won 1. But he had 3 in Miami. I firmly believe that. Next caller.
What's up, Stephen A? It's Eliante from San Jose, California.
Next caller.
A question I wanted to ask is, who are your top 5 comedians? Thanks.
Top 5 comedians. Okay, I'm going to end the show by answering that question. And I got a video to show y'all about Drake in a second, by the way. But before I do that, I'm going to answer that question. 5 top comedians of all time. You want to give love to the late great Richard Pryor because he was a pioneer. You know, Red Fox with Sanford and Son, stuff like that. I get it, but he wasn't stand. He wouldn't do. I mean, he did stand up, but it wasn't like Richard Pryor. I'm gonna give Richard Pryor. He's the GOAT. I gotta give it to Eddie Murphy, who's withstood the test of time. I think he's one of the greatest ever. I'm a huge Martin Lawrence fan. I love me some Martin Lawrence. Okay, I watch Martin religiously to this day. I love him to death. Can't wait to meet him. I don't give a damn about interviewing him or anything. I just want to meet the brother. That's how much love I have for him, and it's beautiful to see and hear these brothers give him the love that they give him because of all the greatness that he's done for other people. So I got a lot of love for him right there. Those are my top 3. I'm going to tell you, you could throw the Chris Rocks out there, the Kevin Harts. They're in the conversation, some of the greatest ever. Oh, I get all of that. Bernie Mac, get all of that. Can't forget my man Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. Got to give them love. But I'm going to tell you who my final 2 is. The Dave Chappelle show was sensational. And he's great in stand-up as well, but sensational show. I love Dave Chappelle. He's got to be in my top 5. And last but not least, this might be unpopular to some people, but I'm going to give it to him because I think that over the years, I haven't seen him recently, but over the years, y'all, we got to give love to Cat Williams. Cat Williams is spectacular in stand-up. Spectacular. Remember that time he was talking about, he was doing a show in Jacksonville and he was talking about Trump and he was like, CNN was crying, there is no way Trump can win this election. It's here, and here. And then the next thing you know, he said those analysts came out crying and stuff when Trump won. He was laughing about it and stuff like that. How about when he did Snoop special, who, by the way, we talk about Kings of Comedy and stuff like that. Kings of Comedy, Def Comedy Jam. Snoop should do more of his own shows because Shaq does it a lot too, and Shaq has some good ones. Ari Spears and others, phenomenal comedians, can't forget them. But Snoop could do his own Def Comedy Jam setup. I swear, I'd love to partner with Snoop or something like that. You understand? Because it's special. But let me tell you something. Remember when Cat Williams looked at him and he said, we went from a deranged president. He was talking about Trump. He said we went from a deranged president to weekends at Bernie's. I mean, he said it was hilarious. That's Cat Williams, man. Phenomenal. Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle, and Cat Williams. That's my list. But love to Chris Rock, Kevin Hart. They all in the conversation. Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Bernie Mac, the late Bernie Mac, God rest, so many others. But my top 5 I just gave to you.